This week in Destiny. This week in Destiny. Our servers were on fire. Our game was non-functional. It was being held hostage by a 12-year-old and their iPad. We were being DDoSed. You couldn't play the game. The enemies wouldn't react to you. You were invisible. Crota pulled the Ethernet cord from his own pants. And he walked around confused even after he was supposed to be dead. He said, screw that. I'm AFKing. And then suddenly, in some encounters, Crota had his best friend Iryut show up. So he had two bosses to fight. Oh, what was that? You filthy content creators. You wanted things to be harder? Guess what? Bungie gave you what you wanted. And it only took a DDoSer to do it. Yes, the game was fundamentally broken, but we're not going to talk about that, right? We're not gonna talk about that. No, nowhere in here does it talk about that. We're just gonna. It didn't happen, bro. It didn't happen. It's funny how the DDoSing happens for like a week and a half, and then suddenly it reset magically. Things are perfectly fine. Everything is magically fine. Everything is magically fine. It only took a Tuesday to solve Bungie's problems. If you're wondering why I'm wearing the dark hood, because I feel like I'm Darth Counselor. Anytime I do these videos, like I'm brutally honest, and it is definitely negative. So I've got the Darth vibe, you know, you got the good counselor who encourages you, and then you got Darth Counselor who will counsel the truth to you, the way. But here we are, this week of Destiny. I don't give a crap about any of this because this is usually just filler. All this is just padded. No one cares. It's all padded. No one cares. Oh, look at this. Haha. The only thing I care about the checkmate stuff is it's funny because PvP players always say that the best meta is a hand cannon meta. Get played, fools. They just decided to reduce how much your hand cannons do in checkmate. Huge L. Huge L. But let's get to the real L that everyone is going to feel. Gunsmith Focusing enters the chat. Yes, you heard it here. They did it again. I told you. I told you. And I'm going to say it again in main screen. I told you. This is what's going to happen. No, Mr. Gaming Cancer, you blow things out of proportion. God forbid I say something that is true, but there's always those ball fondlers, Bungie ball fondlers, that say that, you know what, you're wrong. Am I? Am I? Last video I did about the legendary shards and the depreciation of them. A lot of people are like, you didn't even mention the fact that they're wasting our time and the fact that all the time we spent farming for those shards are now being wasted. And that is definitely a situation that's happening. How many new players commented on my video that said, yeah, I'm a new player and I've been farming. I just got enough to get what I want, to feel comfortable. And now that's being thrown out the window. And I said, they are wasting your time. And they're doing it again. They are doing it again. And people are going to probably say it's not a big deal, but it is. First off, let's talk about the icing on a cake. The gunsmith, he's being tossed to the side. This is what I mean. Like, I liked what they did with the gunsmith. I'm actually in game too. Here we are. We had feature selection. This rotates. This is awesome. There's two sections of weapons and rotations, right? Featured, weapons. Now, they have not specifically said, to my acknowledgement, that both sections are going away. However, the more weapons on display, the better. And here's why. If you're a new player and you don't have a lot of guns and you look at Twitter and you want to know, like, what is a good gun? And someone tweets, oh, wow, there's a fairly decent staccato. It's solar. It has shoot to loot, which has been buffed. Adaptive munitions actually pretty good, especially if you don't have a good scout rifle. You can use this in like GMs, or maybe not GMs, like in a master Nightfall, I can see new people trying to do, or Legend, whatever content, Legend Lost Sector, right? Which we're going to get to that. You could totally use this thing. It's very serviceable. It's not a god roll. It's like a 3 out of 5, you know, but for a new player, this is pretty good. For a new player, maybe you want to get, this is like the worst example, but what if you want to be able to craft the plank stride? You know, you could grab this and use it if you wanted to. Or you want a good SMG and you don't have one. Well, here you go. You got an arc one. It has multi-kill clip, which isn't bad. Like everything else is mid, but it's, you know, again, new players. This is for you. They're doing away with that. They're removing this and putting it all on Xur, which happens once a week. Okay, it's from weekend. It's the weekend, but essentially what he has is what he has. Whereas Banshee, these rotate. Not only do these perks rotate, like you'll have these base perks, and then in a couple days, it'll change. But these rotate. So you're always getting like a plethora of new weapons. So for a new player, this is fantastic. And for someone like me, maybe I didn't get a god roll Pleiadius Corrector, and I would like it because I like Amalon weapons. Maybe I want a Pleiadius Corrector for Solar, because I don't have a god roll Staccato, but I prefer Amalon because they feel better. Or maybe I like the stats on it or the scope. Whatever. You understand completely what I mean. They're doing away with that. They're doing completely away with that for now, focusing. And that sounds great. That's the carrot. That's the carrot that Bungie dangles. Because let's get into it. Let's read, and we can really talk about it. So here we are, starting in season 23. So next season, Banshee will offer focusing options for select foundries. So not all of them, just select. Gunsmith focusing is designed to offer players a way to chase after the dream roll of older foundry weapons while reducing the ever-growing size of the legendary world pool. That's fine. That part on its own, that's fine. We can agree. That's good. Less loot in a pool means better chances of getting the new stuff. What will be available? Selecting focusing that Banshee will offer are weapons released from season 16 to 19, which means that these weapons are at least 4 season releases old. 1 year. Again, if you're like me, you got everything, so it's no big deal for me. But if you're a new player, listen, I have a best friend, and the reason why I'm more mad is because one of the big reasons she stopped playing is because she can never get good weapons. Some of the best weapons she has is because of the gunsmith and the rotation. So this is already gonna hurt the new player population. These weapons will no longer be attainable from legendary engrams, world drops. Instead, will only be available from the gunsmith engrams and focusing. So it's not gonna be on rotation. You can't get at world drops, you can't get on rotation. Suros. Let's point a few things out here. Let's focus on something here. Suros. Syncopation 53. That is a craftable weapon. You need 5 of them to craft. Polarima, craftable. Ragdilly, craftable. None of these are Tapin, craftable. Amit, craftable, which we'll get to Amit in a minute. All of those weapons are craftable, which means you can no longer have a chance. You have to do focusing or have random chance from a legendary engram. And you think, wow, Mr. Gaming Counselor, I could just focus these weapons and have a chance at it? Because let's be honest, the chance of getting these to drop in a world drop are pretty high. Like the amount of syncopations, all these weapons are pretty high. Because Bungie controls the loot table, right? They control that. In season 24, we're planning to update the list with season 20 weapons for existing foundries, as well as adding new category for field forged weapons. Gunsmith's focusing will also replace Banshee's 6 weapon section. This right here, this is going away. So this might stay, but this is going away. And this is bad because You could see new weapons. See, we got some new weapons. We've got old returning weapons. And these are like old DLC weapons. So you got the best of both worlds. You got old stuff. Then you got some newer stuff. That's going away. And here's the thing. The focusing is only going to be available for a year old gear. So if I want to be able to get this old Sterling, which I have a chance at getting a God roll, guess what? You're not going to have that next season. I have to get lucky from a random gunsmith drop or world drop. Granted, they say they're reducing the world pool size, but I still like the fact that if I've had bad RNG, this gives me a chance. That's what I liked about Gunsmith and D1. You could pick up a bounty, work on it, wait a week, and you would get the weapon that you wanted and have a chance to get a God roll. And this is kind of what it felt like. It felt like you had a chance to get that God roll. So there was some benefit to me, a returning player, with these new weapons. It's something, oh, wait a couple days. Okay, I always came to check. I always came to check Banshee, like I would every Wednesday on D1. Like, they gave Banshee a purpose. But now, there's not going to be a purpose for Banshee. This is going away. I don't care. I do not care about focusing a year-old crap. For me personally. But for new people, this is a shot in the face too, because maybe you just joined the season. This is fairly new. A nice strand, maybe, because the only other strand weapons are the seasonal and then the rage auto rifle. But what if you don't want to buy Lightfall? Well, you can't get the raid strand auto rifle. Well, what if you don't want to buy Season of Defiance because it was a bad season and you've heard it was a crap season? You don't want to spend your money on it. Well, the only option you have is this gun right here, a random world drop. But guess what? It's random. Good luck. Whereas right now, if you wanted it because you need it for your strand kit, you're a new player, you just unlocked strand, which you would have to buy Lightfall anyways. But what if you're not a raider? You have 3 hours a day. You don't have time to raid. You bought Lightfall. You want to justify your purchase. You have a strand kit because you play a strand mostly because that's what you have and you want to get your money's worth. Guess what? You might just go ahead and buy this old Sterling because it's all you can get. Because you can't do a raid. And then there's going to be those people like, oh, well, that's a casual problem. I don't think there's a single elite player, including myself, who actually cares whether new casual people have an easier way of gaining world drops. Like, who's really going to say, you know what? We really got to make world drops harder to get for new people. Like, this is a net positive that's being taken. Why? And no one wants to say anything about it. No one wants to say anything about it, right? Not a single goddamn person. But what's really funny, and I'm going back to the carrot, right? Here you go. All these are being put. These are going to Xur, so I can no longer look for them. They're now going to Xur, which means one chance a week of getting it. And it's also on rotation, so if you have to wait several days to get the rotation of what you want. But how much will they cost? Gunsmith focusing will be in parity with how much focusing ritual weapons cost. 3 gunsmith engrams. I barely get 1. And it's going to cost 3 now to just focus. To focus. And now I won't be able to sit here and hope to get something I want. Now I have to focus it to get what I want, but it's not even what I want because it's a year-old stuff. So if you want new stuff, tough luck. Tough luck. You don't have this option anymore unless they're going to give this featured as the option. But who knows? Because they really didn't say anything about feature. They didn't say, because right now this is the old stuff. I'm talking about, like, this is seasonal. This was world drop seasonal. So I'm assuming that this is still going to be world seasonal and world drop seasonals, old stuff. I could be wrong, but we have not really gotten a whole lot of new stuff here. It's been old stuff. Like I said, this is a net positive for new players. My best friend, she wants to play. Guess what? She has options. Just pick stuff up because maybe she doesn't have 10 hours to farm whatever for whatever gun. This is a surefire guaranteed way she can just pick up a weapon and go. Like, here's a sword. She can pick up a sword. This one right here. This is not bad. Wellspring is not bad, even though it's not most people don't care. But Surrounded is really good on swords. It is fire. The strat right now for Crota is to have an enhanced bequest with Surrounded. And this right here has Sword Guard. It has field tested, so it will also increase range stability, which doesn't matter, but also increase charge rate and guard resistance. So just hitting Crota, this sword, in fact, I'm actually tempted to pick it up myself. I'm picking it up because the more I think about it, this actually could be pretty good. It's not enhanced bequest, but with Surrounded and then this increasing charge rate, if it does enough recharge rate time, I may not need to use a mod for recharge rate on swords. And then having Wellspring, that's kind of juice. Could be better. But I'm going to try it out just to see. Is it a god roll? No, it's a 4 out of 5. But I'm more interested in the origin perk in this situation. But see right there, I found some treasure. A little bit of experimenting. I might delete it. I might keep it. I don't know. Because Bequest is also Arc. And you can get the perks you want. But it doesn't have field tested. So that's the kind of the cherry on this sword. But yeah. And so I was talking about the carrot, right? So older weapons, the loot pool were pretty bad. Like the perk pool is pretty bad. But now the newer weapons, like, have you seen them? They got some fire perks and combinations. Like the new Strand Fusion. I don't think we have any other Strand Fusion rifle. Like, that's legendary. But that's fire. And it gets hatchling. It gets some other good perks, especially for PvP. And people were already talking about it's actually pretty decent in PvP. But guess what? It's in the loot pool. It's the carrots. They're like, hey. We're going to do this thing. And you're gonna want this. Okay? You're gonna want this. You're gonna want this. And do you know how they try to justify it being 3 engrams now? Get this, because this is impacting you new players more than anything, and it's absolutely hilarious. How can I get Gunsmith engrams? We are aware that ranking up Gunsmith reputation alone is not the ideal way to earn Gunsmith engrams. Not at all. It's actually, you're not going to get anything. We have taken that into account and decided to include more ways to obtain Gunsmith engrams. Ranking up Gunsmith reputation. Duh. It was already like that. Lost sector completions. Okay, first off, someone's going to point to this, but new players can do free roam chest. This is 20%. It's not per 20% experience or reputation. This is to earn more Gunsmith engrams. So 20%, is that 20% reputation or 20% chance at an engram? Either way, it's not good. To get the maximum chance of either getting an engram or reputation, because it's worded funny, because it sounds like include engrams, because it says, look, rank up reputation. So if this was reputation, they wouldn't have this, because this is a duh. So this tells me this is engram. Master Solo Platinum, 60% chance. It's not even guaranteed that you will get one. New players, returning players. Hello? So let's put this in perspective of a new player, okay? You're a new player. You want to get some new weapons. People are telling you, "Oh wow, you missed a couple seasons. There's some really good weapons like funnel web." Well, I would like to get a funnel web. How do I get a nice void funnel web? Well, you need engrams. Oh, how do I get engrams? Do lost sectors. Okay, well, they can't do master lost sectors because they have to get a build first. They have to get good weapons to even do the master lost sector. And you could say, well, they could join a group. How many people are actually running in groups for master lost sectors? Not quite a lot, because if you're going to do that, you might as well go solo to get the exotic or the chance at it. So then you go here, which is a 40%. But what if you can't even do legend? Okay, a regular 20%. You are farming at a 20% chance of getting an engram. So new players now are farming for a 20% chance. But let's say you're cracked, right? Let's say you have a kit that can get you through a master. Okay, you do a master. You don't get an engram. You do another master. You don't get an engram. You do another master. Hey, I got an exotic. No engram. Oh, I got an engram this time. I got lucky. Oh, I did another one. I got another engram. Ooh, that's good. I'm making progress. Another one. Nothing. I do another one, nothing. I do another one, nothing. Oh, another one. No, I can get nothing. And if you think, oh, that's not true, anyone who's farmed for exotics will tell you that's exactly what happens. You have it where you can get it immediately, or you get 5 or 6 runs and then you finally get one. Granted, 60% chance is higher, but it's still not like 70 or 80 would have been better. That is a little bit over half the times you try that you'll get one, but there's still the chance that you get bad RNG. So you finally get your 3 engrams after running 10 lost sectors, master lost sectors, master platinum. So you did it. So you took maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes, depending on how well you're good at doing master lost sectors. And then you got 3 engrams. And then you come up here and you're like, I can focus. Oh, I can't get this staccato. I can't get this funnel web because now I can, but I can only get 1 for 3. So I buy it. It's not a good roll. Now I have to spend another hour of the 3 hours that I have to play for the day, where I could be farming something else, but now I've wasted half my time farming for 1 funnel web. I got a couple nice exotics. That's it. Right? That's it. But hey, you just got that nice exotic because now you're gonna go, ooh, what's this? I got that juicer. That's right. I got this juicer over here, Lucky Pants. I heard it's really good. But you know what? I kind of want this fashion. Well, what's this? I can change this for only 600 silver? I have farmed for 3 hours and suddenly I have 4 or 5 exotics and I spent $30 on different cosmetics. And there it is. You got the carrot and Bungie has got your time. What's worth more to Bungie than just buying cosmetics is your time. Your time is irreplaceable. And the more time they have you wasting your time on frivolous crap like this, the more you're going to stick around. Because you may spend an hour just trying to get that god roll weapon that you want, that funnel web, because you didn't get it, or you accidentally deleted yours, and you don't want to sit here hoping the RNG gods. You want to focus it. Well, guess what? You've got to waste your life on lost sectors. Like, and if you think I am memeing when I say that people are going to spend money because of exotics, I mean it. They're going to spend it because it's economics. It's tactical. They're getting your time, and the more time you are in game, and the more that you're doing something that gives you something that also has cosmetics attached to it, the more likely you're going to spend cash. And if you don't believe me, then let's go to the store. Let's go to the store. What's this? Do we remember this? Remember Synthweaves when it came out as a freebie and how bad it was? It was a disgusting way. Like, it was bad. If you're a new player and you don't understand, When Synthweaves came out, people hated how you got them and the grind to get this crap. But they made it so easy to click a button to just go ahead and get this bundle. Oh, you get this bundle. It's so easy. They were wasting your time, but then they gave you a time saver. That's right. Because that's what Bungie does. And if you're not smelling the crap because you're in the pigsty eating the sloth that Bungie's feeding you, it's time to wake up. They are changing the game to where it's wasting your time, but conveniently, there's time savers here. Anything to get your money. Because that's exactly what happened with Synthweave. It was a waste of your time. It was stupid how much crap you had to grind to just get 1 or 2 or whatever it is. And it's still capped at 10. You can't get more than 10 bounties a season. But hey, you can buy as many as you want. And if you think that Bungie hasn't done scummy tactics like that, are we forgetting Bright Dust? This is fairly recent. Because before Bright Dust existed, you can buy things for Bright Dust. You had to rely on Bright Engrams. Well, that's not bad. Getting Bright Engrams are pretty easy nowadays. Well, not back in the day. Back in the day, you could get it from XP, but the best way to get engrams, to get the exotics and stuff that you want, was to buy it. Now, you can't buy engrams anymore because it's pretty much been replaced on direct purchases. But you could just buy engrams and play the gambling game of, ooh, will I get what I want, or will I get all this crap? All this was stuff is still padded in the Bright Engrams. But this was the only way you could get exotic ornaments, or you could pay to buy engrams just like regular loot boxes and gamble to open them and see if you got what you need. Or you could, you could earn them in game, but Bungie's scummy. You cannot trust what Bungie does. They are scummy, and they have been scummy. The Synthweave, scummy. Before that, the Bright Engrams, scummy, because they throttled XP. Are we going to forget that this is the company that throttled XP in a game? Wow, look at that. The very first thing after being called out on various forms of social media, Bungie admitted that the game throttles experience gains. Through this, though the system would immediately be suspended. After they got called out and caught red-handed for doing the scummiest crap possible, did they revert it? And when the community complained about Synthweaves and how scummy it is, did they change it? And then, of course, the Bungie ball founder is like, see, aren't they great? They listen to us. They listen to us. They're so good. They're so, no, Bungie, you're the best. You know how to make it. Bungie, you're so great. Thank you. Even though they're the ones that made the crap system in the first place. But now here we are, where they're throttling engrams. You want weapons, you don't want, you want to use the system more. And you could argue, well, Bungie could have they could have just made it 3 from the rip. And then what would you do, Mr. Gaming Counselor? Huh? What would you do? Huh? What would you do, Mr. Gaming Counselor? It could have been 3. So I don't know what your problem is. I'm glad you mentioned it. I'll tell you what my problem is. I'll tell you. Are you listening? Come here. Come here. You stupid. Come here. This is Darth Counselor talking to you, stupid. No one would have liked it still. I would not like it. Okay? People would complain, and people will complain. Kind of. Depends. And I say that because most people right now aren't impacted by it. Because it's old crap. But once this starts hitting the new stuff, you're going to start seeing it. Once they start putting more of this system of, oh, it costs more, you do more to get less, They're going to put it in raids. You're going to have to do more to get less, to focus those weapons. Trials? Well, it's already like that. They're already changing that. So trials, the trial, you want to farm for that god roll and you can't go flawless, so you have to revert. Well, guess what? You have to play more trials for less weapons because it's going to cost you more. You want to use that 1-to-1? You spent all day getting your butt kicked in trials and you managed to get 5 engrams. Guess what? You can only get 1 weapon. That's right, 1. You could take a gamble and just pop the engrams, or you can gamble. Now someone's like, well, this is Bungie, this is Destiny, it's looter shooter, it's all gonna be RNG anyways. Says the game that has craftable weapons. The moment they introduced craftable weapons, they changed the rules of the game. Once they introduced focusing to a 1-to-1 ratio, there's no putting back the genie in the bottle. You can't have the majority of the community get used to this simple, fair system and then take it away. Because all it is not to benefit anyone. It doesn't benefit new people. You just make them do more or make them walk away from the game. You make returning players hate it because they're overwhelmed of the amount of crap they missed and that how much extra crap they have to do. God, someone wants to get PvP rolls. They want to farm Matador, but now they have to farm Master Law sectors to be able to get engrams to farm whatever is going into the loot system that they missed. You're going to have to do more for less. All this is old stuff that you're gonna have to do more for. It's backwards. I'm not saying the new stuff should be like that, because I don't think so, but the older stuff should be easier to get, not harder. New players should have easier access, not harder, because they're not gonna be popping legendary weapons and armor like it's hot to get these reputation, so they're gonna have to do lost sectors, and the most that new players can do or base, which is a 20% chance. So you're farming. Guess what? You're never focusing. And you could argue, well, you shouldn't be able to focus if you're a new player. But why not? Who does that hurt? Why? It's a gunsmith. I'm not saying they could be able to go to Saint 14 and just start focusing god rolls of weapons, unless, they did their time in trials, which I think you have to go through the base quests and all that stuff. Like, if they want to get creamed in trials because they have a bad loadout, but they just want engrams, you sure let them get the sauce. It's not like they're getting free flawless weapons. Again, like the base stuff, why are we making it harder? This isn't adept weapons. This isn't raid weapons. This isn't. And it's because, as I told you, very simply, they're wasting your time. They want to waste your time. They want you to invest more time for less. There is no other good reason. Not a goddamn reason. And there's going to be morons out there who are going to fondle the balls of Bungie, the smooth brains who are going to try to justify this. And it's not gonna. You think this is it? You think this is it? You think this is it? You think this is where it's gonna end? Boy, do I have a surprise for you. Let's for science. I'm not even going to pull a calculator on the screen because I don't care. 99 divided by 3, 33 weapons. Wow. I got 99 engrams. I can get 99 weapons. Next season, I can only get 33. 33. That is 66 engrams. Wasted. They're going to find more time wasters, and it would not surprise me that they add more time savers. Because guess what? I could buy all these. It's gone now. So why would I need to buy it? But you could just buy levels. You could buy the whole season pass. If you think that Bungie is not going to make the game worse, they're going to make you do more for less so that you're incentivized to spend cash. If you think this is not something that's already being done in other live service games, you need to wake up, because the people that are fondling the balls of Bungie, guess what? You're going to be left with a dying game. Dude, it is not new player friendly. It is not, I only have a couple hours to play a game. I really want to get some of this loot. No. Your time is going to be wasted. Do not listen to these Bungie apologists, because they will fondle the balls of Bungie no matter what. Because the reality is, Bungie wants your time and your money. They don't care whether you're enjoying the process or not. I'm Mr. Gaming Counselor. This has been, I'm Mr. Darth Counselor. That's right, Darth Counselor here to tell you the dark truth, the brutal truth that no one wants to hear, but it's the truth. I'm telling you. The moment that it happens, I'm going to make a video and I'm going to blast every person that makes a negative comment in the past videos I've done. And I'm going to say, I told you so. And you're going to feel like an idiot. But only time will tell. Only time will tell. Until next time, be smart. Be the best version of yourself. That means don't fondle people's balls, unless you're into that. And until next time, don't forget to game out.